Hey guys, it's No NVGs, and today we're going to be going over all of the unreleased guns that are in DayZ. Well, I don't mean in DayZ, but you get what I mean. Anyways, we'll be going over 16 weapons on this list, and these weapons are either in the game files, were showed off by developers, or were planned to be released but just never made it out to the update. By the way, I made a YouTube poll and this is what the people chose, but before we get into the video, please subscribe, and I'd like to thank everyone who has subscribed because that most recent video did really good. First up on this list, we have the Groza-4. The Groza-4 is a fully automatic Russian bullpup assault rifle which uses 9x39, and it also takes a 20-round magazine. The Groza also takes attachments such as an underbarrel grenade launcher, its very own scope, a suppressor, a flash hider, and even its own extended barrel. This is honestly crazy because most guns don't have as much attachment specifically made for them. And the Groza was showcased before DayZ 0.60 but just never made it into the game. Anyways, here's some modded gameplay of what it would look like. Keep in mind guys that the video I just showed you is just a modded version of the Groza since it's not actually in the game files or anything. But moving on to number 2, we have the Makarov 6P9 PB. This is basically just the IJ70 but with an integral suppressor. Just the look of it alone is similar, but it also takes 380 ACP and an 8-round magazine, and it also takes a suppressor which I'm confused about if it's supposed to be integrally suppressed. Anyways, here I'll show y'all a video. Keep in mind this gun is very unfinished. I'm pretty sure that footage is from the gun being in the game files, and as you can see it's pretty broken, and I believe the Makarov would be pretty interesting since it'd kind of be like the Mark II with an integral suppressor as well. Anyways guys, let's move on to number 3, which is the M249 SAW. This is a belt-fed American LMG which uses 5.56x45 NATO rounds. Supposedly there's a 200 round box for it, but I couldn't find the photo. It takes the Western optics such as the ACOGs, and also has some attachments such as the bipod and some guardrails. This was released as a teaser back in 2015. Honestly, I don't think I'd want this in the game since it'd kind of be overpowered. Anyways, here's a video. In that video, I'm pretty sure that's the gun from the game files, which is obviously very incomplete as the reload animation and you can't even hear bullets sometimes. Anyways guys, let's move on to our number 4, which is the Remington 870 pump action shotgun. I couldn't find the image online for DayZ for it because it was just so low quality, but anyways, it can fit up to 8 rounds of shotgun shells, which is crazy. I'm assuming this isn't in the game because the developer chose the BK-133 over it for probably just aesthetic purposes and lore reasons. Unfortunately guys, I couldn't find a gameplay video, so we're going to move on to number 5, which is the M72 LAW. This is a rocket launcher that's disposable, so you're not supposed to reload it. It takes these rockets, which you can see here on the screen, and I'm pretty sure this was teased back in like 2015 or 2016, probably just as a joke or something, because that'd be crazy if it was in game, but here's some gameplay. I don't really see this weapon really fitting in with like the DayZ environment, but now let's move on to number 6, which is the RPG-7. This is a rocket launcher which was teased back in 2015 by the lead designer, probably as a joke. As you can see on screen, it was meant to take a bipod. Now here's some modded gameplay of it. Keep in mind guys, that is just modded gameplay, nothing real. Now guys, we'll be moving on to our number 7 spot, which is a crazy gun, and that is the PKM. The PKM is a Russian LMG which uses 7.62x51 and can take a 100 round box magazine. The developers talked about the PKM as if it was to be released, but it just never was. Now here's some modded gameplay of it. A fully automatic gun which takes 7.62 is crazy, but now let's move on to number 8, which is the Mini Uzi. Obviously, the Mini Uzi is just a miniature version of the normal Uzi, and this gun takes 45 ACP and can take a 10 round magazine and a 22 round magazine. The Mini Uzi was posted on the DayZ Trello board back in 2016, but unfortunately never made it to the actual game, and unfortunately I don't have gameplay, so let's move on to number 9 and 10, which I'm grouping together because how similar they are, and that is the M203 and the GP25 underbarrel attachments, and they're basically just grenade launchers that you can put on rifles. The M203 is the Western version, which fits onto M16s, M4s, and the GP25 goes on AKs. And here are the grenade rounds that they take. Unfortunately, I couldn't find footage for the GP25, so I am very sorry. An underbarrel grenade launcher that you can attach to rifles is just a little overpowered to me, but now let's move on to number 11, which is the M12. This is a semi-automatic shotgun that you don't have to pump back to use. Unfortunately, I don't have footage of it or any information regarding it, so I'm very sorry. But trust me, I would love to see this in DayZ. Anyways, moving on to number 12, we have the dart gun. This is just a crazy idea of a gun. I'm pretty sure this is non-lethal, so it just like tranquilizes people. I think this would be such a cool addition to DayZ, having a non-lethal gun. And it takes these syringes for its darts, which probably would tranquilize people, like I said. Unfortunately, while it's in the game files, it's unusable, so I don't really have any videos of it. So now we're just going to move on to our number 13 spot. We have the shock pistol. The shock pistol is also a non-lethal gun, which just shocks people like a taser. And it takes these batteries and it takes cartridges. Unfortunately, like most of these guns, it's just in the game files, thus I don't have any footage of it. But moving on to number 14, we have an even crazier weapon in DayZ, and that is the spear gun. This is such a random weapon in DayZ, and I'm not sure how it would work against humans, but maybe they had the idea of it being used for fishing. Obviously it takes spears, and unfortunately it was only found in the game file, so there's just no footage of it. But I think this is one of the craziest weapons on this list. Now let's move on to number 15 and 16, which is both bows. We have the PVC bow and the recurve bow. The PVC bow seems to be a homemade bow that you can make out of PVC pipe and some rope. And the recurve bow seems to be a bow that you can find on the ground, which probably is stronger than, a fucking homemade bow. And obviously they take bolts just like the crossbow does. Unfortunately, these are also in the game files and don't have any gameplay for them. Anyways guys, comment which gun you'd like to see actually be released in DayZ. And if you like the video and you enjoy my content, please subscribe since we get closer to 3,000 subscribers every day. Anyways guys, bye.